Hello, 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 and welcome back to another live stream. How's it going, everyone? Hello, Leo7531. What's with the 7531? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Why did you add numbers to your name? But welcome. Happy Thursday. It's a good day. Can I just say it's a good day? I'm not asking about the other 7530 versions, but why do they have numbers after your name now? You never used to have numbers. Why did you add numbers? Or what did you do where you got numbers now? Oh, yeah, look at it. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. What makes it good? I'll go over little things to it. Leo made it good. Leo made it partially good, and then something else happened after where I figured stuff out, and it's even better now. They always have numbers. I guess they changed something. No, I even scroll down, because I have the chat long. If I no, before. See, it just says Leo. There's no numbers. I don't know why it says Leo's with numbers now. Hey, Blue Seeker, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You got a Clips leader. You got the Clips leader badge. Congratulations. You might have been the only one that ever made a clip, but hey, you got the Clips leader badge. Yeah, you're number one. But yeah, good day. I found out about instance structs, which, by the way, terrible name, because instancing does not mean typically what you're doing with them. You're not instancing anything. Terrible name. Yeah, instanced structs. Terrible name, but awesome functionality. Go figure. And then I also managed to figure out how to do something I've wanted for a long time, which, if you haven't seen all my socials, you should join me on all my socials, or be in the BCG discussions channel where I posted it as well. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I'm masking BCG using shadows. There's no shenanigans. There's no shenanigans. And by the way, I can get rid of this file. That's actually not used. It's all within the PCG graph. Real time with an asterisk, right? This is not real time. But it's a real time with asterisk. An editor for sure. Yeah, I'm regenerating it. It's not like I'm not obviously an editor. You know this 5.7. It is thanks to a new node though. Yeah. You can see. Is it perfect? No. But it's good enough. Right? It's good enough. It's because like it's the points are I think too big. If I made the points smaller, smaller. I'll be a little more exact. There you go. So now it's more exact because the points are smaller. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Sorry. You want everywhere the light touches? just invert it, right? Yeah. So that's why it's been a good day. That's why it's been a good day. So I'm able to sample the shadows effectively. So we definitely don't. So we definitely have no vids for Sunday or anything. I did it until this. By the way, to figure this out once was. Let me see if I look at my PCG discussion channel. I posted that I've tried 3 different things this week and they've all failed. Panic bar is rising for Sunday's video. I posted this at 4:13 p.m. and at 4:40 p.m. I tried something different and I figured it out. So it was done within 30 minutes of posting. I have nothing to me having a solution. 4:13, 4:40. Sometimes it just clicks. You know, sometimes it just clicks. You're expecting today with experiment today with creating impact frames and made you wish you can call other materials as submaterial. What do you mean? What do you mean material is submaterial? And then you hide these. You get your thing. Clearly has a little bit of a extra there. But a little cleanup. is needed. But it's almost perfect. There you go. There you go. Cleaned it a little more. Now it's better. Okay, anyway. Enough of that. Let's go to... Let me load up the game dev. You're with me till 10 p.m. I mean, considering I stream till 9:30, I expect you to be here the entire stream then. Unless you want to stay an extra 30 minutes. Your impact frames are black and white masks. If you could call other materials and define them to fill black or white, you wouldn't need to put your materials as material function and make multiple master materials. I don't fully understand, but you can definitely just on a material just be like have a setup where if a value you can do like an if value is 1, output black, or white, and also output the normal, and then you just set the value as a 1 or 0 effectively. Yeah. Next 15 minutes? That's a very different thing than till 10. No, we're going off. We're clearly going off Western time, Pacific time, best time. The absolute best time. But Leo showed an interesting thing today, where you can have structs inside of them that can be swapped out. And now, close everything. And I'm going to open all of the data tables I have, because I want to see what data tables I could potentially make more modular. Because that would be interesting. If any. I don't know if for my setup, if that's going to be useful, but this is going to end well. I'm just going to break some stuff. It's nothing new, Blue Sneaker. Backup? No, there's no backups. Why would I do backups? That's silly. You're silly. Why is it taking so long to load these data tables? Oh, but come on, they're just data. There you can make anything modular, since it can literally be used with a gameplay tag /enum to get the proper data. Oh yeah. But it's just a matter of like, where would I want to or care to combine things? So, for example, I have, oh, you know what? The spawn information I can put and combine with the DT mobs. I can put that with the mobs information. Okay, like I can combine that. Although, wait, I have spawn info here. I have spawn info here. Why do I have spawn info in both of these? Okay, well, there's also bosses. Which we can get rid of spawn info on this. from the bosses because they don't need it, but mobs can have it then. Let's say you want the white of your impact frame to be a fire material. You would need to make your impact frame as a material function with a black and white output, and then let this mask be used to define where fire and where... You're losing me. I think you're losing me. That's too long of a sentence. You lost me. I think it's one of those things I have to see to understand, to be fair. Say experiment first with dummy objects before doing anything serious. Oh yeah. But I'm just trying to see like where it could even, if it's even useful anywhere here. They have rich image row, which definitely wouldn't be combined with anything. That's its own thing. That's for rich text. I have player weapons that I would not want to combine with anything because that's specifically for player weapons. Meta pickup items. The keyword descriptions. I don't really need to combine that with like the cards or anything, but it's an option. Atypical dots. The only dot I have is fire aspect here. I don't think that needs to be combined with anything. The collectibles is just all the collectible stuff. Don't think we need anything there combined. The card text formatting definitely doesn't need to be combined. The cards. I don't think we need to hear anything auto-populated or swapped out. It's all consistent. Aura, same thing. Active items, same thing. So it's really only the mob stuff that could theoretically combine. You have some materials, you could just call them inside the graph instead of defining them in an instance rather than making entirely new master materials. You don't need new master materials. That's what really confuses me. You could just have a more complicated material. So it'd be less work and more organized if you have that. Hey Ranger, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You can't ask about Kingmakers tonight? Sucks. I mean, you can. You can ask. Nothing's stopping you. Wondering if the cards might be the most benefit since each has their own type. Well, where would the benefit be in the cards? Because they all use the same information. I don't need different information that I can swap in and out. I think that's where I wouldn't need it. I wonder, could you do it on a blueprint? Can you show and hide variables in a blueprint using it? Like exposed variables. Oh shit, I gotta test that. Hold on. That's something I've wanted for a long time. Can we do that? Instance actors. I know you can do the C++, but what happens when we do that with structs. So this is going to be instance struct. I think you can make certainly try. Well, that's what I'm going to try. I'm just curious. So we have the main, then a Boolean struct, and if integer struct. And here, I'm just going to select the substruct A. See what happens. What you want is a material to define the look of the VFX, and one that defines the handling of the impact frame, where you just add that look you want to the black or white. Instead, you have to make a very big material graph to achieve the almost considering. I mean, that just sounds like you want a layered material, and then just turn on or off the opacity of the second layer at a certain time. I don't know that, but I think that's all you need. Just make a layered material. I pressed the wrong thing. Yeah, he's making layered materials. I use those all the time. Okay, so I'm going to just add a variable of type S main. I'm going to expose it. What do I see? Okay. Hey, look. I have the thing I need here. Okay, it's a Boolean. Okay? Of struct A main. Oh, I could totally swap things out. No, I could totally do this. So hold on. Delay for 5 seconds. Set instance struct. No, hold on. No, I just want to swap between two on a delay. Hold on, what's the thing that's called? Scroll up. Where's your stuff? How did you swap the struct? Hey Pharaoh, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Set members instruct. Oh, does that work? And then here, I'll just do, can I just do, this? So if I have right now substruct A here, I say, what's broken in my stuff? Why do I have stuff that's broken? What's going on? Image icon. This needs to be a soft object reference. Soft object ref. Oh, it's from here. Soft object reference. What? Get icon. There you go. Okay. Good. It's probably going to give me some other things that are broken. Okay, so looking at, we have Boolean, simulate, right? Boolean. Will it swap out? Well, yeah, it'll swap out even in here. So it'll do it even at runtime. So theoretically, then, I mean, I don't want to do this at runtime. I want to do this on like a construction script. Like if I want to do this for like some kind of setup.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Right, based on like anyway, it's at time. And here I am still doing this. There you go. Hello, Lipshostra. Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Did your name also change? Is YouTube now displaying different names for people. I don't think yours name used to say Libshastra, but now it says Libshastra. Just like Leo didn't used to say Leo 7531. YouTube, what are you doing? So let's see, we have a Boolean, and now we have an integer. You could totally change all your variables now using this inside of a blueprint. Oh, that's so good. So like custom setups where if you need like more or less controls depending on certain things, yeah, there'll be always this thing that you can't really hide from like a user, but doesn't matter. This is awesome. Even for nothing else, this is awesome. Huh. Okay. Okay. Test success. So that means we can put in more information when we need to. Okay, how do we then how do you read the information? You make instance struct. Why is all the options? Makes and set instance struct value. I want to read the information. Breaking is not going to help. You have to break it and then you get the information this way. So if it's valid, you'll get me the struct. But I cannot it's a wild card. What happens if I try to print a wild card? Can I print a wild card? No. So for example, if I did set members in something, so that way I can convert it, then I can drag out and do a break. And I'll put this on event tick. I'll bring this back. If I simulate, it's saying false. Check it. I can't check it in this setup because I need to detach the construction script. Check it. Yeah. And only print it when it's valid. This is really cool. Hello, Green Coke. Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. All you basically need is material functions and the static switch parameter to turn on and off inside of material instances. Yeah, you can't do that during runtime. Hence, it's a static. Yeah, you could do it multiple ways. You could do it through just a regular layered material with a controlling the blend. You could do it through an if node. Or just putting a 1 or 0. I wish you could do Boolean type stuff though. As at runtime. But no such luck. So using this instance struct business, we can combine certain things if we wanted to. So for example, I can combine mobs and remove the spawn info when I don't need it. Why do I have a separate spawn info and a mobs with spawn info? Yeah, that's question number one. Mob spawner v2 is using this. Is using the spawn info. From the spawn info here. And then am I using and then wait, is no am I not using the DT mobs anymore? What does this have? Oh yeah, this is the old stats. I no longer have all this information in the mobs in here. This is totally on. Wait, isn't this being used still? I mean, I guess it can't be because it's all has damage 999. So clearly it's not being used. Hold on a second. Enemy. Set mob stats. Yeah, it's just built on the character now. Yeah, all that stuff is built on the character. It's just here. Right. I don't need to. I can separate this though. This weapon attack stuff I can separate out. And I can split it just on the player. And then I can maybe separate out some of the stuff, the animations as well. I mean, there's no reason to be fair. But apparently I am not using the DT mobs one. I used to. Goodbye. Okay. So now we have just that. So then, am I using the DT bosses? Probably not. No. I guess goodbye to that. Okay, well, I guess in my case, I probably don't need to use instance actors or instanced structs. This is cool, but we're left with active items. Like all the active items, right? All this stuff needs the same information. Like hiding one of these sections or two of these sections if I don't need it isn't really necessary. I can just have all three of them. It's fine. It's more convenient. Keywords. Hey, Zerling, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. What's an instant struct? As I found out today, check this out. Here's a blueprint actor with a struct that is exposed. You see how it has this Boolean as a variable, right? If I turn this on, it turns into an integer. Well, I can't change it right now because for the test I put it into the construction script. But the point is, I can change it. And then I can even play and then have it read the information, even though it's based off of what substruct it is, effectively. Which is pretty cool. So that means you can have a data table with non-set, and you can have a data table with sections of it that are not set in stone, but rather configured for your needs. So I'm looking through the data tables to see if there's anything like that I need. I don't think there is. Well, am I using this? I'm not using the sound line. Nope. Goodbye for another data table. Hey, cool. I'm finding stuff to clean up. This is great. And there's font information. There's a stack. There's the information of the keyword descriptions. All right. It's all great. Then I have dots, collectibles, I don't need this in-dungeon mesh, but I guess I already added it. Yeah, I think I'm fine as is. Because you can swap what mesh you're reading from based off of an enum or a gameplay tag and things like that. So you can get specific information all from the same type of struct that you pass through. So if you had multiple types of something, or like that were like set up differently, like ranged and melee weapons or something that work differently, you could put them under the same struct and have the part that is different swapped out based on the weapon, potentially. But I think for what we're doing, I think we're good. I think we're good. Anything else here? Indigenous sprite, selection sprite. I mean, there's no reason for that to be. There are different ones. No, this is fine. Let's go ahead. What should we work on today? Now we know this. It's cool, but I don't think I have a use case for it, basically, is the answer in the end. Cool, but no use case. For me. And close all this stuff. We don't need it. Sure, I'll keep this test in here. Yesterday. Okay. Yesterday, we made this all nice and pretty. So now, when we go in and we use our abilities, oh, that's one thing I want to change is, yeah, finally it attacks, is preload this stuff, because that is way too long. And he goes gray, clicked, right? That, I want to try preloading. So let's set that up. If I just preload the animations, I think that will help. Even if the effect itself is not preloaded. The ability to call another material instance inside of a material. See, that part doesn't make sense to me. Just call another material instance inside a material. Because there's no such thing as a material inside of a material. There's just a material. So my brain, I think, doesn't quite understand what past that. How you organize your materials inside each other in Blender? You organize materials inside each other in Blender? I've never used Blender to that degree, so yeah. Sorry. Like, there's a material and you can have it do different things. You can change how it looks. You can do whatever you want. You can customize. You can make it blend with other like textures, but it's still one material. They could look and feel and do whatever you want. They can make it go from a stylized look to a realistic look to a displaced look to a, right? You can do all of this stuff, but it's still one material. So I think my brain is just not comprehending. Basically, that's okay. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, so it makes sense. Let's go ahead and go to the player. And I believe it's here. Yeah, so when I set a new weapon, I want to preload all the animations for it. Which is a pain in the butt. Custom event. Preload player weapon animations. Because these are all arrays, which is annoying, because that means I have to do like a for each loop on each one of these. I think I need to do this. Because there's no load otherwise. I need to do this and then do async load asset, basically. And then I have to do this 7 times because I have 7 arrays. Thank you. Duplicate from not working. I appreciate you. Is there a better way? How's there? I feel like there should be a way of loading arrays of soft references. That isn't this. Oh, nice. I lost track of count and I still got it right. Nice. You have a complex material and you just add another material as a parameter selection. So you can say on this end, what I define as my white mass material, that is magma. So you can just reuse a material you already have made and just select it there. Complex material, you just add another material as a parameter selection in it. So you could say on this end, yeah, that's just called a layered material. You're just describing a layered material. Then you have a mask, and where the mask is, it looks like the next material in the stack, because that's what it's masked by. It sounds like exactly like a layered material, like I said. But you're saying no, it's not a layered material, so I don't know. Yeah, but what is the difference? Because you're saying no, a layered material is not it, but I don't understand the difference between what you want and what a layered material gives you. I don't like this. Can I just say I don't like this? Is there no better way of loading? You know what I really don't like actually? Isn't even the fact that I'm loading it this way, it's my setup for it really is what I don't like. But I don't have a good idea for a better one. So I guess to test this down, we have to do standalone, right? See, that's a lot better. So the effect is still like a little bit laggy on the first attack. Right? Now it's gonna be fine. But the animation at least isn't delayed. So that's good. Because the animation being delayed was feeling really bad. I'll try one more time to just confirm. Layer material is like what you define your landscape materials with. So you can layer blend. So you define what you want inside the master material. But you want to basically call the other material from outside as a parameter. Like you can change the color of. You can control layered materials and their blend. No, let me show you something. I think I'm gonna open up a really old project of mine where I have a really old material setup that I designed. 5.2. I never ended up using it because while it's very powerful, it requires you to make everything blueprints, and I just on some projects it's fine depending on the kind of control you need, but all right, so this is a layer material. Right, I have a moss layer, like a grass layer on top of a brick layer, right? There's a grass setup on top of a brick setup. And then this is a blueprint, so obviously everything is exposed, everything is controllable. And so I can go in here and which layer is it? This one? Yeah, so right here, if you look here, right, I'm just controlling that. Let me actually just do this. Right, there's controlling the blend. How much do I want blending? Right, I just make the whole thing grass. In this case, I'm using a height blend, right? So that's why it's affecting it the way it is. See here. But it's all exposed. If I wanted to do all this, it's just layer material. Unless you don't want to right, there's the UVs on it. Go as far as changing the color, which I believe is not enabled right now for that layer. I think I had to enable it. Okay. So now I can tint it. Hey, but this seems like what you're describing. You want to just be able to control a setup between multiple looks. Do saturation. Make it like Fortnite. Right. There you go. That's the layer material. And it seems like that's what you're looking for. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. Does Niagara have a something for loading? No. I don't think it does. Oh yeah, today I was trying to look into Niagara freaking data channels using BCG. Holy shit, I know it's a bit experimental, but my god, why is Niagara not like easy set up on anything?
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Was I blocking things? I don't think I was blocking things. I moved my camera for it. Was I blocking things? Did I put my camera in a bad place? Yeah, no, all the controls are right here. No, I wasn't blocking anything. All the controls are right there. Yeah. I'm not changing materials. This is all the same material. It's one material. Yeah, I didn't change anything here. If you're talking about like what I changed behind the, I just turned on a checkbox that I forgot to enable to and allow me to edit the colors because that's just how I have it set up. Otherwise, I didn't. All the settings you saw, they were. It's all in the blueprint. The point is, it's all exposed to the blueprint, which means you have full control over to do it at real time, at runtime, or whenever you want. Yeah, it's all here. And you can see I was swapping between all this stuff. I mean, it's technically multiple materials, but it is one material, yeah. It's layered material. So you layer materials on top of each other. I don't know. Up to you. Entirely up to you. So, if you don't want it to be one material, then you don't have any options. Aside from just swapping materials. You assign a new material, and that's the best you got. Then that's it. There's no other options. You don't want one material, and you can't have multiple, so your option is just to assign a new material. And then you have separate full materials. But I don't see how that's better than just using a layered material. And I don't know. That's me. But it is reusable. Because it's a layered material. Your layer on top, you can just plug in on every single setup you have. They all need to be dynamic material instances in the end. If you want to control it like that, so. Alright. The beauty of a layered material is that you can swap the layers. And you can set up a layer. Like you want one with a brick on the bottom and a moss on top, cool. You want one with wood on the bottom and metal on top, cool. If you want one with, you know, blood veins on the bottom and skin on top, cool, right? And it doesn't matter. But the way you control the blending of the two could be all the same. You go through the same setup. As long as the base, you're using the same base controls for all of them, it's all the same blueprint functionality. It's already set up once you set it up for one. I don't know. Very modular, in my opinion. Try one more time to make sure the animations work. Again, feel free to swap materials if you'd like. That's your only option then. Yeah, cool. Yeah, there's a slight flash. That's so weird. I think the flash is, I mean, yeah, slight spike at the very first time you use it, and then it's fine. Yeah, this is good enough. I don't think there's any issues on the mob attacks. But I could preload the mob animations as well. I think I need to though. Oh, you know what I want to do? Some of these attacks I don't want to stun me. Like for example, the multi-attacking flying creatures. So let me make sure that I have a setting for that. So for example, on Gloom Sting, these guys, this attack, throw a projectile, and I don't have a setting here that says no, like if I want to or do not want to affect stun. But I think I want that control. Yeah, because I have an option here for no stun, but I don't have a... Okay, so what I think then we need to do is... throw this to a variable. We'll make it expose on spawn. Throw in projectile settings. Projectile settings, or no, I don't need to do there. What I need to do is initialize. So here we need to do a no stun. And then this can then set no stun. The effects material differs a lot. Sometimes it is some math with messing up with the UV. Messing up with the UV. Layer material would work with such a way. A direct select of the material would be better, because you could not need to turn the already existing material into a layer first. I mean, you just set it up once and then you're done. But sure. Sure, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, there's the no stun. We need the attack info. That's where we need the no stun. So in here, oh, I don't. Here. Variable. No stun. We can put it there. Knockback distance, no stun. Yeah, like there. If I recompile this. Now on the attack here, we have no stun. We can turn that on. Good. Let's say you have a material where UV is manipulated. One where it is a flipbook animation, another that is a parallax occlusion, so on. Yeah, it's really complicated, really fast, even with layered materials. I mean, sure, but that just sounds complicated as a material in general. Right, you already have separate setups. The only difference is, instead of it being a material, it is a material level, a material layer. And that's it. Otherwise, it's set up exactly, well, pretty much exactly the same. No differences, nearly. So it's not it's any work to use one versus another. That's me. I use material layers all the time. I think they're a lot more powerful and easier to use for once you have them set up than creating custom stuff all the time for every setup. I have a material blend that I can throw in RGB masks on if I need a directional blend, if I need whatever kind of blend. I just have it already set up. I throw the material layer blend and bam, I have the control on every single material I ever need. But that's just how I work. It's not for everyone. I get that. That should pass that along now. So now that attack should no longer stun me. So the projectile, I can make attacks not stun me. That would only work for projectiles. Let me make sure it works for melee as well. Receive damage info. Ooh. Oh, this already sends through no stun. So theoretically, I should already have that. Oh, this is a take damage. No. I want on. Event damaged. No. Where's the execute attack? Oh, execute attack, right, is on here. And this needs a no stun unlocked here, and then we can plug in no stun. There you go. Yeah, get some sleep. Well, I mean, if you're not tired, sleeping will be tough. But yeah, I mean, time-wise, you should have been asleep a long time ago. But I understand sleeping when you're not tired is tough. That could be tough. Okay. Let's go test out whether or not the multi-projectile enemies now stun me. They shouldn't. You're now out of the way of... So you guys should stun me if you hit me. Why do you have less health? Yes, you do stun me. Why do you have less health? What's going on? Where's the enemy I'm looking for? You have insomnia and hypersomnia. Hypersomnia. I've never heard of that one. Insomnia is when you can't sleep, right? Oh, there you go. I got hit by those. That's the ones I was looking for. What happened to my animation? Why was I stuck in the one animation? Hypersomnia is when you sleep too much. That's a thing. Whoa, why is it when I get hit by that, my animation breaks? Hold up. Hold on. Oh. I found a bug. 10 12 hours. I mean, yeah, that I don't know. That's hard for me to do, I think. But interesting. I didn't know that was even a thing. I figured, like, if your body's tired, you just get sleep however much you need. And when you're not getting enough sleep, it makes sense to sleep more. But I don't know enough about that kind of stuff, to be fair. Let's go to here. Get stunned. As the stun tagged. After delay, removes the stun tagged. But that shouldn't have any effect on when they hit me, then my animation. Yeah, have a good night, Aya. Get some rest, try to get some sleep. Why do they break my animations? What? Oh, okay, you also broke my animations. What in the world? Okay, what is happening after I dash that allows me to rotate? It's only after getting hit with a projectile. Oh, no, that wasn't a projectile that hit me. That was melee. Right? What? Huh. It doesn't have anything like triggering off of this. Okay, hold on. Let me turn off this get stunned. See if I can narrow it down. That's a new problem. It's fine with this. Let's go find some projectile. Oh, no, so it's not that. Okay, so it's nothing to do with stunned. What? Is it anything to do with being taking damage, even? And how could it? I'm going to detach this real quick. Because that is meant for just like full on stun, like when you're stunned. But I don't know. I'm going to test it. Still fine. Let's go find a projectile, boys. That seems to be the fat. Oh. No, yep. What? Let's go. So it has nothing to do with this. Okay. What if I remove the entire take damage section? Is it anything to do with actually taking damage? I'm getting to the bottom of this, damn it. I wasn't expecting to do this right now, but I am. Why are these not shooting me? Shoot me. You're projectile boys. Oh, yep. There we go. Nothing to do with taking damage. What? Huh. So the only thing that I can think of is that the directionality is not being set properly anymore. The only, let's see, why would the directionality not be set anymore? That means this is failing. Mouse and keyboard. So this, if it's mouse and keyboard and certain things, or mouse and keyboard and not attacking or blocking. Blocking is not anything anymore, so get rid of that. As long as I'm not attacking and I'm on a mouse and keyboard, it should allow me to do this. Is my character somehow getting the attacking tag? Am I actually putting it on the wrong character? Is that what's happening? That would kind of make sense if somehow I'm adding the attacking tag instead of on that enemy that is executing the attack on myself. Why are you not attacking me? No, I'm not. It's still saying false. Okay, so it's still saying false. Wait, hold on. Wasn't it saying false at the beginning? Wait, why is it saying false at the beginning? Why is it saying false? This is saying true. Oh, this is the controller. Oh, it's not mouse and keyboard. Okay, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah. This one using mouse and keyboard. Not using mouse and keyboard. So we're gonna check this. So it's stunned. So this is failing. Then. Which means that most likely I'm getting the stun tag, I would guess. False now. I get hit, I'm getting false. So let's do a check has tag instead. And let's do a stunned one. So let's print that. Am I getting the stun tag? Is that what's happening? And is it somehow not removing it? Or am I getting the attack, some like attacking tag or something? Oh, hold on. It said true for a moment. Oh, it said true for a moment. But right now it says false, so that's not the problem. Okay. What else could it be? Attack?
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Let's go run some mobs real quick. Actually, I'm gonna go get a drink. We'll be right back. I'm back. Run! Let's see if I get the attack tag. Gain something. No, can no longer rotate, but it's not the attacking tag. What the hell am I getting? Dash? Am I somehow getting the dash tag? Which would explain why why it's fixed after I dash, I guess. That would be very weird. No, still false. And it's broken. Rotate the cursor? Shouldn't be that. That should have nothing to do with it. With any of what's going on. Oh, wait. I can no longer... True. Wait, why do I have rotate the cursor? Wait. What? Well, I found the problem. I'm somehow getting rotate to cursor. Why? Why and where? Execute block. Oh, this whole execute block needs to go away. Goodbye. Reset block can also go away. On dash start, we remove... Yeah, that's why it works. We remove rotate cursor on dash start, which is why it fixes itself. So hold on. But why... Right? The whole rotate to cursor is only accessible from the player, which means that most likely so that's probably being triggered. I don't know why. It seems to be only really triggered on projectile attacks. I don't see any projectile enemies. Let me just reset. Projectile enemies? There's some, but they're not attacking. Why is their AI broken? Okay, you guys. Get you up here. Hello. So it did get triggered. It got triggered, which means This got triggered. But why is it being triggered from something I don't want? Execute projectile attack. Ah. This. I want to do this probably only for the player. Get owner. Check hashtag. Player. If it is the player, yes, do this. If it is not the player, then please, for the love of God, do not do this. I think that should solve our problem. Hopefully. This is what happens when you refactor some stuff, you know, like. We should also explain why it was only happening for project. There we go. Yep. Now we're good. Now we continue running in this proper direction. Okay. Good. Good. Now, can I figure out what is wrong with the flying enemies? The multi-projectile flying enemies that are always broken. I can't find them right now, but we all know who they are. Let's go to, I think it's this, the spawner. I'm thinking, yeah, I think we're spawning them in the ground. So it's, when you get extra location, get a ritual point. Then what I want to do is here is offset their location. How do I get the default of you know what we can do? Instead of just spawn them 200 units in there. They'll fall in, which is fine, but they should fall in a little bit off screen anyway. I wonder if that will fix it. All right, you're good. So, gonna find some flying enemies. Okay, okay, you're flying technically. You're wrong flying enemies. The multi-projectile flying enemies. You know what? Oh, there they are. I see them. I see them in the back there. They're right here. No. Why? What's wrong with these guys? Why are they broken? Why are you broken? You're not that wide. Make it a little bit narrower, honestly. Your half height is 123, so you moving it up potentially is helpful for the spawning, but that doesn't seem like the problem. So I guess I should check your state tree as well. On tick, find cover if the distance is less than a certain amount and the cooldown is off. Is this breaking it? Maybe this is breaking it. I can undo that. Good. Let's go check it out. It's the only one that really has consistent issues. It might be the only one that has that kind of setup. Yeah, and of course we're gonna have trouble finding them again, even though it's completely random, but some of these mobs we just see tons more than others. Chances are exactly the same for every single mob. I found the shop. Good job, me. Found the shop. Like, statistically speaking, we should be seeing them far more than we are. Oh, here they are. And no, they're completely broken still. Okay. So it's not that. Grace window check. Yeah, it's fine. Is it the distance? Combat range is very high. If the distance combat range for this is a player is within the combat range, which is pretty high, and the pathfinding distance is less than 5,000, 4,000, that's fine. So in the actual testing level, right, we don't have problems with you, if I recall. You work just fine. But for some reason, it's specifically in that actual level in practice, you have issues. What could be the problem? What if we, on the mob spawner, maybe the distance here is the problem when we're trying to spawn things. Within 500 units. Let's increase the amount of units. Maybe they're too crammed together, and that's the problem. Maybe somehow they end up just colliding. They'll start a little more spread out in their little bunch, but I think it's fine. Oh, there they are. Oh, they're below. What? One moved. One of them is moving. Right, but one of them is not. So I feel like it's not that. Because I'll keep the 500 though. Because it has try to adjust location. Okay, what if I say don't spawn, try to adjust location, ignore if still colliding, okay? Is the problem that it's the colliding problem? Is the colliding part. And so the AI breaks. Is that the problem? Oh, this one's a problem. Why is that one still a problem? Yeah, these are good, but there's still fewer of them. There's some more of them right here. No, that has no effect. Get character capsule height. Get actor local offset. Oh, hold on. Let me turn that off. This add local local offset stuff has given me issues in the past. So I'm now effectively just moving them up 200 here instead of doing it after. Let's see if that was the problem. Stupid local offset, which is never actually local, I feel like. Or an offset. It's more of like set location, really. I feel like a lot of times. So So let's find out if we find those mobs again. Again, I don't know why it's only those. Okay, a couple of them are still broken. No, a couple of them are still broken. The question is why. You two, you guys are all fine except this one. Right, you should be fine. I'll get rid of this because this is helping. Or at least it's doing the same job. Could try another filter here. Maybe the recast one is bad. And but then again, why would it only put those guys in a bad position? Like, I don't think it's actually the spawning mechanic. Because then it should affect all of them. But it really only affects that mob. Right, there's a bunch of these guys, they're all fine. Yeah, and here's these guys, and 4 of them are not doing anything. What if... Yeah, let's go to the test level. I can try... see if I can get it to spawn those guys and see if I can get them to... No, all of them are fine. Every single one of them is fine. Every single one of them is fine. What is this magical problem with this mob? Why is this magical problem with this mob? Do I have a transition that is causing this? What if I remove the ability to go to find cover group? Because that might, maybe that's it. Maybe the problem is the find cover problem part. I'm guessing here. If it wasn't clear, I'm very much guessing. Maybe they're not finding cover for some reason. But then some of them run away, so it shouldn't be that. But good old trial and error. Can we find the mob now? Nope. Why is it the rarest mob there is? I found a dead end. Good job, me. Okay. Try again. I'm hoping it's the find cover problem. I'm hoping that's it. Like they're trying to go find cover, but they're failing, and when they're failed, it goes back to trying again, and then it's like a big loop. I made a circle. Okay, here's they are. Good, good, good. Oh, they're all good. They're all good. Oh my god, was that the problem? Was the problem with them with the find cover setup? Oh, I want to find another. Oh, make it to the shop again. When you need to find the shop, you never find the shop. But when you don't need to find the shop, oh, it's there. It is. Oh, I see them. Shit, no. Two of them are not moving. This was, that's not the problem. Why is that not the problem? How many times do I have to undo, or can I not undo anymore? Oh, I can't undo after loading the map. You should go to combat moving when failed anyway, so. Can't lower Zorla. I'll just copy. So you also have the same condition. Copy.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
This is the player. Let's define cover. It's not the find cover range, because if on fail, it goes to combat movement, which means it should start being fine. What I could try is disabling nodes and seeing if I can get to it. Turn off combat. Turn off idle. It should be finding. They should be finding me pretty much immediately, assuming they're in range, of course. There should be basically no one standing around. And they're all standing around. Are they not getting the state tree activated? Could that be the problem? I'm trying to run the debugger to find them. Again. Either I haven't found them yet, or the state tree's not working on them. Let's see. Can I find the rarest mob in the game? Why are you the rarest mob in the game? Okay. They're somewhere around here. I see them on the debugger. Okay. One of them isn't moving. One of them isn't moving. Okay. Okay. Let's see. How do I... Oh, right click. So this one is a problem. This one up top, root group idle state. So what's happening here? What? Failed to select root state. Stopping the tree with failure. Failed to select root state. What happened? Well, that explains why it's not working, because literally the try enter root, try select an order. Flow compare is 3,407 is not greater than this, so it shouldn't be an idle. It's not in Grace window. So it succeeded on the enter conditions for the chase player, and then failed to flow compare. Oh, hold on. Did I? So here, right, this, right, is a check. And when it fails, it tries to do the next one. Really, what this should have, I think, is the problem, is on state failed. Go back, go to idle. I think that was the problem. Is it would just then go to, because this failed, it tried to go to combat, which is also gonna fail. Instead of going to idle and waiting longer, and then trying again after idle. I think that's the problem, but I don't think any other mob has this. So I probably need to add this conditional as well to other mobs. If they're using distance to player, pathfinding distance to player. Yeah, and they are. Combat range. So when this fails... Oh, this one has a wait after dashing into combat thing. So it goes here. It fails everything, then it goes here. And that's why these don't fail. They're fine. I bet that's it. I think we just found it. Time to play the searching game. Can we find the mob? Hey, there it is. Huh? Why are you broken? I mean, only one, but... Okay, I think it happened. The same thing happened again. Multiple times here. Okay, so what I think what we need to do instead of that transition on fail, I'm going to this has a condition of the player distance here. Distance to player less than 2,000. I probably need to just also add the and flow compare. Copy you. So now this won't, okay, a little bit of it. Now it'll check that it is within a certain range here and then go away. Otherwise, if it's on both of these things, then it should stay in idle. But after this, hopefully it'll be fine. So you have to go to idle state specifically. We're so close. Oh? All of them are moving here? Okay, that is really good. That is really good. We found some immediately and they were all moving fine. Oh, here's some more. They're all moving. They're all moving. Every single one was fine. Did I fix it? I might have finally fixed it. I'll find one more of these guys. One more group. Give me one more group. I'll feel like I definitely fixed this. Oh, there's one more right there. Up on the stairs. Let me out. Why are these? Why are none of these working? Find cover group failed. Untick go to state route. Then went to route. Oh, you know what should probably be also? To re-enter idle group is if this is the way it is, and then we do another flow compare, and this is going to be a or the player range is greater than this. So either case, it will now enter idle. It was very close. It's very close. It almost got it working, but the last pack, God, it was so nice. Like those first two packs were so great. It gave me so much hope. Damn. What happened on this one? It failed entirely. So what happened? It went to root. It tried to enter group. It failed to enter idle group. It was not greater than 4,000. Wait, greater? Greater. Oh, it's not less. Okay. Yeah, here. It didn't go into route because the distance there was, it failed the distance there. Oh, I need to make this, I didn't, or greater than that. Brandon, can you tell? That one brain cell is just, it did really well earlier today. But man, it's like, oh, you want me to do more thinky stuff? What is thinky? I've never heard of this thing. Greater and less than? Please. Never heard of this thing. Okay. Flying, flying, flying. All of them flying. All of them good. Okay. Let me out. Yeah, yeah. Another pack. 100% good. Give me one more pack. One more pack. And we can say it's fine. Just one more pack. Can't see. Can't see. I still need to do all the material stuff for this set, but I need to also figure out how I've entered that end. I also need to figure out how I'm going to do the environments, because actually setting it up block by block, it would be a pain in the butt. So I'm thinking of creating some kind of... Yeah, these guys are all good. Every single one of them. We did it. We did it. It's working. Yay. Freaking fixed them. I'm thinking of creating some kind of setup that can do these kind of paths. But I haven't figured out... Have I got myself stuck? Is there a... Oh, it died? Good job, mate. I haven't figured out a good way of setting that up yet. And that's definitely on my list to do. Because if I want to create environments using that kind of setup where it's all like blocks, which I think looks really nice in this kind of with the whole aesthetic and everything, right? This, I don't want to manually right, place block by block, and then these are all randomly rotated within like 90-degree rotations, and then plus or minus, a little bit. I have a way I can set up to like, hey, just slightly rotate it to make it like just slightly skewed, which will be fine. But right, I don't want to set up, a 4 by 20 area just for a little section here and be like, okay, now how do we do the rest? So what I might do is figure out probably some PCG graphs or something to do this. How would I... The thing that I need to figure out is how would I do like things like paths and things of that nature. And I think it might be like... I'll do a little draw over. I'm thinking, like, let's say I'll create a volume, right? That can do grid, right? Inside of it, will have the grid of all the squares, right? And they will automatically already be rotating however it wants. And those will be like, by default, let's say the grass ones. That will be the one with the grass, which all need to rotate a certain way. And then I would need to have another box, probably, that would, on overlap, would make it a road. Right? It would make it these type of squares. Again, overlapping would make it whatever shape I want. So if I wanted to have all of those in here, I could. Like if I wanted a bigger area, smaller area, single stripe, etc., right? I can do that. Then I would need another one for like maybe mud or something like that. All right, maybe like a mud one or a random one. Maybe like I'll want like maybe a little variation here. We'll just have like we'll just break up like maybe stone, pick up mud, stone, or whatever it is, and just And then maybe I could, in the grass ones, maybe I could have an option to like, what percentage of them are mud? And then set it up that way. So that's for the flat areas. And that's all great and all. But I also want to figure out a way of doing stairs. And that's one I haven't figured out the solution to. What's the best way of doing stairs? So I think that's it wouldn't be like a box and like within the box just do it however much, because it's all square, like cubic, right? Still shape for everything. Everything's a cube effectively. I could just have a blueprint with a PCG graph inside that just selects how many wide and how many tall. And then it will create a grid that's that long relative to that tall, right? So if you wanted it to be 4 tall, then it would make it 4 long. And then each one would be up another level. And then that would obviously create stairs. And then you make it as wide as you want. And then you could pick a random meshes, obviously, for each one. The other thing that I'm thinking is, for this setup, normally you would want to use the default instant static mesh spawning of PCG, but I might actually want to spawn static mesh actors. You know, the default, this regular stuff that I can just select. These are all static mesh actors, right? And the reason I might want to do that is because then I could just select whatever ones I want and just delete them if I want a hole, or if I want to have some kind of like extra variation there or change something. Maybe. The other thing I could probably do is instead of that, I could just have it be like, instead of volumes, I could use splines. So I can do a different shape. Obviously, any kind of stuff like this, right, needs to be manual. But I could create a blueprint setup, or a BCG setup again, that I can create one big volume, and then anywhere where I place a certain actor, it will spawn a statue or something. But I think at that point, like, it's easier to just place them and have a little more leeway in that. Decals is another one. There's not that many, to be fair, so I could probably just place them manually myself to but I could have it where the stone one could have a chance of spawning with a decal, like a small chance automatically. And then we can have it have borders as well, or add those in manually depending on the setup we have. So I'm thinking of setting up something like that for this. Because I don't want to place cubes next to each other manually. It's just, that would be crazy. And I want to be able to recreate these kind of setups relatively simple. I'll need another one that's, doing the bigger blocks probably, compared to like these kind of blocks compared to these kind of blocks, like a road versus a breakup one. So you just need a lot of tools effectively. Something like this would need to be more manual, because potentially, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Another one that I probably need to do is figure out is these. If I want to make a area that's like randomly blocked off, I guess I could just spawn random points and just a bunch of these. But I want to have the control over how it's placed and where it's blocking and not blocking. I think these would be manual. So I think the main ones will be the paths and things of that nature. I might, honestly, I might look into that tomorrow. Because we're at a good spot. We don't have the abilities for both main weapons. We don't have it for Airblade, but I'm waiting for a sale on power-ups, on a power-up pack. I showed it off a few days ago, but if I go ahead and find it real quick. I think it's this one. So yeah, this pack, as you can see, looks very similar to the Airblade attack that we're using and the main attack in general. Right. So, right, this is very reminiscent of that. So I'm thinking that I'm waiting for a sale basically on this one because it's $55, and I don't really want to spend $55. So I'm waiting for a sale, but that's why I haven't done it for the third one. So in the meantime, because we don't have a good setup for everything else, it might be good to actually set up a few alternative layouts. Oh, you know what? I did say that it probably doesn't make sense to do the kind of rock stuff, but it might actually make sense to do the kind of rock stuff because of this. If I make a rock wall set up here. It doesn't need to be like, because all of these are scaled, kind of blocking it, but look here, all of them are scaled 2x, right? And they all have a pivot pretty much at top. So
ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Should be relatively easy to reuse then. For a platform of any kind, you can have it up and down. Yeah. Again, put it on a spline. Make it straight, make it bent. I think we might spend some time setting all this up. Should be good. And you know, if it goes well, I can show on a tutorial how I go about setting something like that up. Obviously, it'll all be on stream anyway. But and a nice edited video probably. So I could use for two things together. Yep. FX is all that will be obviously done later. Yeah. I think that's the plan. I think that's the plan. I like that plan. He says as he's the one that came up with the plan. There goes the ads. Okay. For now, though, I'm not touching it. Let's go back to the hub. And let me take a look at some other stuff. These guys, I don't think I ever swapped your information, right? In terms of... Well, you just have the... Where's the construction script? Paper sprite. Okay, I'm very much hard coding this. Case of the weapon here. Do I not have this information in the data table? Probably not, right? Player weapons? Because I only need it for like the base weapons. I don't need it for all weapons. Although I might turn all three of them into all weapons might end up being base weapons you unlock down the line. But you'll always have like the option of like swapping to a different weapon mid run if you wanted to. Because if you, for example, got the you really enjoyed using the air blade, it would be unfortunate to limit you to not use it as a base weapon. For now, it still makes sense. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. In terms of the attacks, is there any... This is the thing that I want to improve. So the reason I have attack A, B, C, D, F, G is when enemies or the player has different attacks, they use different animations. Well, I need to get that specific animation for whatever that type of attack is. So, for example, for enemies, if I just grab a random attack here, right, I can specify which attack is it. And it'll play that animation. And obviously the animation, based on the animation, it will trigger whatever it is. It will shoot the projectile, it'll do the melee, it'll do whatever it is. But that means, right, we need to associate those animations with the enemy. But it's not great. And now the player has 4 attacks. They're like the hotbar attacks, right? Player now has these 4. So they're taking up 4 of those slots, which is fine. But I just... And the reason, by the way, they're arrays is so I can either do potentially a combo where it does like the first index, second index, third index, fourth index in order, or it could do a random, right? The options are there. That's why they're all arrays. So, but I just don't like the system, is the problem. Can we think of a better solution? Is there any better solution? I could use the instance struct setup that we learned about today, potentially for a player version and a enemy version. So that's one thing to note. Or for the player, I could use a different set of structs that are, let's say, specifically just, left click, right, left click, right click, hold, and then like hotbar 1, 2, 3. It'll just be named differently, but the functionality would be the same. There's the thing, functionality wouldn't change. They just rename, but that's not important. I guess what I need to figure out is the best way to execute like X attack and get the animations for it. If we take a look at, I could probably close some of this stuff down. Close you. Fix the projectile and all that issues. If you look at the character base, Oh no, it's not on the character base anymore. That's right. Keep forgetting that it's been moved. Right. Oh, that's one we already played in the animation. No, it would be on the player base. It's here. So right, so we get the attack animations, which is this, based on the input attack type. It selects one of the type, one of the animation. So as in like attack A, B, C, right? As I showed earlier. Then it picks that one, and then it'll either get the index or a random based on whether or not it is set to be a random index or not. Random attack versus like the next one in line. And then it basically goes through and resets it, or there's a place for increase attack combo. Although I haven't used the attack combo in a while, so because animation lacking. Yeah, I think the setup we have is the best one. I'm just not thrilled with it. I am just not thrilled with it. I'd love to know how other games do it. I'll probably play around, not play around, ask around to see if I can figure out a alternative. Because while it is fine, it is fine. It works. It's usable. You have access to all this. It allows me to have multiple attack animations for enemies. It's all using the same setup. Something about it I don't like. And I think it's like the name of just attack ABC. Like I would love to have like the name of the attack, but that's not possible no matter what I do. Right, every mob is gonna have a different attack because it's different mobs. And it allows me to do custom things. Like I can just put in, like for example, the Great Spider has a custom thing entirely using that, thanks to it. For example, the animation attack D. So if I do weapon info, so for example, here, I'm blocking it, right? I'm able to put in like, right, this is a custom setup entirely for the spider, which is just why it's on the spider. But it has like the starting of the ramming attack, the ramming attack itself, and then the finishing of the ramming attack, and all the logic of how that's set up and how that works. Like at the start, the ramming, and the end, right? It's all can grab from one array, and that allows me to still have, as you can see, up to E, A, B, C, D, E as attacks, and I still have two free ones if I want to give it two more functionality, two more attack types. So again, it's a good setup, but also, yeah, this weapon attacks, I need to probably make it into an instanced struct because it does not need to be here. You don't need to have weapon attacks as a for every single enemy. It doesn't hurt anyone, but it's a hurt to have. But why have it? Is there any way to... We can swap structs dynamically. For most mobs, we only need 2. You have 2. Most regular mobs need 2. So what I might do, actually tomorrow, is I will remove the weapon attacks into its own instant struct. So that way only the player has that. And then for this section, I will have a separate one that is going to be for regular mobs that will have, I think, 3 of these only, which will be basic attack, like a melee attack or a basic attack, and then an alternative attack or a ranged attack, and then like a special attack. If we want like a basic mob to have maybe one where if you're in melee range, right, it stabs you, for far away throws a dagger, or maybe it has like a little special one it does. And that'll be like all mobs will just have 3. And then for bosses, we can have a separate one that we set up as well. It would make it more complicated here, but still it wouldn't be that bad because I'd still just put it inside of this function where it would get the instant struct, and based off that it would still return me the right information. Only thing is this input attack type. Then how do we specify the animation at that point? So I like the organization sense. I think that would help. But then how do we specify the attack? For the right when it's, so we would need to have basically 3 separate enums based off of it's the player or not, but then you need to have 3 separate enums as an input, which seems like a mess. Unless I could keep it consistent in terms of like having a basic alt and special, like all mobs would have that, but for bosses special doesn't make sense. It's just all their attacks aside from a couple of them will be special. I think it's close to being better in my head. I think once I figure out a good solution to selecting the right attack, once I have that split up, then we'll be golden. I could still use the input attack type, where it just selects A, B, C, right? A, B, C, D, etc. It's just based off of. Oh, you know what I could do? Instead of I'm overthinking it. Instead of just using a get attack animation, which animate. Oh, that's spelled right. Instead of using get attack animation, it'll be get player attack animation, get enemy attack animation, and get boss attack animation. Yeah. And then inside of here, this input attack type, I would just use, I would have a separate one that's doing, I would have a separate one that has like, enemy combat, and then I would have another one that's like boss combat. And the boss one would just have, a different input attack type. Although I wonder if I could also set up a instant struct in here to select a different option. That would be interesting to try out, I think. Yeah, I think that's what we do tomorrow. Instead of the BCG stuff, I want to rework that stuff with instant struct. I think that'll be fun. Instant structs seem really cool, and I think we found a use case in my project for them, so that's what I'll be using it for. We'll see how it goes, but you know, we did some good. Fixed the bugs, added some features, and learned some stuff. I think it's been a productive day. But that's gonna do it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you had fun. Tomorrow's Friday. Yay. So, look forward to that. With that, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. And I'll see you then. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.